continue my series here on Mark chapter 2, and even though I'm in El Salvador, I feel like it's important to continue these thoughts, at least for my sake, if no one else. The next characteristic I wanted to address is the issue of the faith of these four friends. It's really amazing to think about what they went through. We started out with compassion and how they had compassion for their friend, and so they were determined to do something, and then how they were met with kind of this situation, this issue that caused them to have to be innovative and creative and come up with a new way to present their friend to Jesus. And so here we are at Faith now, and it's really interesting to me to note that when they lowered their friend down on this stretcher, that Jesus looks at the four guys who are there, and he says, well, it's your faith that's made him whole. We don't even know if this guy had any faith at all. I mean, maybe he had some faith, maybe he hoped, maybe he had faith and hope in his friends, but nonetheless, these four guys had some incredible faith, and it was enough faith for Jesus to recognize it and honor it, so that their friend was healed. In the scripture, it tells us that one day we're all going to stand before the Lord, and He's going to say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." And the word "faithful" simply means to be full of faith. In other words, He's going to stand and say to us one day, "Well done, good servant who was full of faith." I have to ask myself sometimes, how full of faith am I? Am I full of enough faith that I would go great lengths to get my friend to Jesus? Am I full of enough faith that I would not let opposition stop me? Or am I full enough of faith that I would be willing to go beyond just what's expected and even be creative or innovative and believe that this would work? These four guys had to believe that. They had to believe that this was going to work. That in fact it was the only thing that would work. Sometimes our faith is challenged and tested just to see if we really believe. And it's very possible that these four friends, maybe the whole reason they couldn't get to Jesus, aside from the fact of just there being a lot of people there, but maybe God, knowing that whole situation was going to happen, was just testing their faith to see if they'd be willing to go another step further, and then to have to lower their friend down and see what would happen next. And I believe that when those four friends got to heaven, they heard those words, "Well done, good servant who's full of faith."